What is up, ladies and gents? Before this fight begins, you need to mark the center of the boss with 6 pins. It's easiest to have it in the center for the best callout so that everyone can look at consistent marks for later mechs. Now to begin. As usual, the boss will start with a heavy attack where you use a movement block to avoid damage. Afterwards, 3 laser beams shooting in 3 specific locations will come out. Depending on your location, you will cover a specific pin, because if you don't, the boss absorbs stacks from these lasers. Once he hits 30 stacks, it's generally a wipe, so you need to keep him below 30, preferably under 10. To prevent this from happening, party members need to decide who their buddy will be for the beginning mechanic. 6 players will separate to cover all 6 pins until the 3 beams are set, and then they will trade with their buddy. What do I mean by trading? Well, when you stand in front of the laser beam, you gain a debuff stack similar to the boss. The difference is when the boss gets 30, it's a wipe mechanic. When you reach 30, only you die. So you need to trade it within a timely manner. As you gain stacks, you gain curses, and you know this because they float above your head. The higher the stack, the more curses. The maximum I recommend is 3, but rotate around 2 curses so you know you're consistently below 30 stacks. You know you have too many when you radiate an aura. Next mechanic. Similar to before, the boss will select a player with a red orb, usually a ranged player. They will drop a massive black hole that pulls you in, so you need to drop it off in the back, not like this. The issue is, what happens if you get marked with red and your teammate has 3 curses? Don't panic. You can safely still trade and drop it off at the very back of the laser while your teammate is in the front. Wait till the red mark disappears and sprint forward to avoid the black hole. Next mechanic. After he does his 3rd heavy attack, or if you want to track the acid instead, which is more consistent, he does acid twice and then he goes straight into the breath mechanic. My advice is, once you see the 2nd pull of acid, stop whatever you are doing. That means absolutely no DPS until you're comfortable with this mechanic, and head to the back of the map. People on lasers, if they are close to 30 stacks, should leave the laser with their teammate and head to the back, and the other partner can hold the laser at the back while also waiting for the next mechanic. The reason you head to the back is because 5 players will have a purple ring around them. The purple ring will stun players if they touch each other with it. Now, since everyone is preparing for a mechanic, the 6th player will be unmarked with no purple ring and will have to go quickly towards the boss as close as possible based on where the gold orbs are. Since the other 5 are in the back, he has free access to run to the area near the boss to avoid being stunned. For example, in this clip, the 3 gold orbs begin at 6. What does that mean? It means that the gold player needs to hightail it straight to 6 while dodging the purple rings, and it's easier when they are all in the back. He waits for the boss to light up and goes counterclockwise to destroy 3 pillars. I am nearest 6, so that means I should not move any further than I have to, because I know 6 is the cutoff, or the imaginary wall, as acid will be sent there soon. However, players in the area of 6, 2, and 1 are in danger, so they need to rotate. Rotation is what kills most players, so what I found to be the easiest method is for players to follow the player directly above them so as not to clash with purple on purple. What I mean is you need to follow their exact footsteps. As you see here, I can run a full sprint without worrying because I am copying the exact footsteps that the player in front of me is doing. But be ready to stop abruptly. As we all know, there is a wall that you can't pass. What are the gold orbs and why are we doing this? Well, 3 gold orbs will show up on the map that need to be destroyed by the boss's breath. The breath covers a range of 3 pillars, so if you don't destroy the gold orbs, what follows is a wide AoE explosion from the gold orbs from those pillars, each dealing around 5,000 to 6,000 damage. So if you mess up and only hit 2 of the gold orbs, you can still live the explosion, but if you miss 2, only players with over 12,000 health will live. Another fine detail to note is that when the gold player rotates to a specific orb, he can't move until the boss lights up. Another tell, but is inconsistent, is the gold light on the player disappears, so it's easier to just wait for the boss to light up. If he goes too early, the boss will track and start at the incorrect spot and won't destroy the gold orbs. And players not ready to move will die. It's already hard to move as it is, so be consistent or warn your teammate. The next mechanic is everyone gets gold orbs. Haven't fully debunked this mechanic yet, but I'm assuming it's an HP check for all players. Remember at the beginning I mentioned keep the boss below 10 stacks? Well, I believe the damage dropped on players scales based off the amount of stacks that the boss has. When the gold orbs drop, they deal around 8,000 to 10,000 damage. It's best to group afterwards to get a full heal from the healer and also receive the tank's HP buff and defense buff so you can have a better chance of living. If I find a different method, I will update the video as I did before. Still trade at the pillars, and once the mech is over, the boss's current stacks will reset. Once this mechanic is over, he may go into back-to-back gold orbs depending on the boss's health. It's the same concept as mentioned before, just rotate. Lastly, depending on the boss's current health, he will drop double reds, but you already know how to deal with that. Other than that, rinse and repeat until the dungeon is over. Thanks for watching. Drop me a comment and say rotate to boost the video up as appreciation. As always, guys, stay blessed.